Yesterday we crossed the border into Canada. It was a pretty easy border crossing. We're back at Kluane Lake. This is that beautiful lake that we saw during sunset with the mist over the lake on the way to Alaska. And today we have a beautiful day, blue skies and sunny, to see it again in a different way. And it's just as beautiful. The water's so clear. It's like a pebble beach.
Yeah, it's like 70 something degrees today. So it feels so nice to be in the warmth and sunshine.
Yeah, it feels like a little beach day or something, which is nice to have a little break from all the driving. Pretty much on the way back, I don't think we're going to be doing the Cassiar Highway. I think we're going to be going down the Alaska Highway. And then we're going to be going down to Jasper National Park, Banff National Park, there in the Rocky Mountains. And that's going to be beautiful. So it's going to be another long week of driving. So we're thankful for a beautiful day like today to enjoy the lake.
Yeah, and this week is showing like sunny and warm weather the whole week. And after that, it's starting to cool off.
So this is that hill with all the flowers on the way to Alaska. It looks like the flowers are all gone. It's fall time now. Do you guys recognize this spot? Kind of sad that summer's over. Dawson Lake. Look at that. That cloud of smoke. It's a different color from the clouds. We have a whole electric fence all the way around. We're at Leard Hot Springs. We're on the boardwalk walking to the hot springs. It's 60 degrees out. There's a cool breeze and it's smoky from a wildfire. There's a lot of smoke out. It smells like a bonfire out here.
Yeah,
And
it's real bad.
you can see little ash flying around, like little snowflakes sometimes. There was a lot of ash flying around last night. This is a cool boardwalk to the hot springs. It's like a marsh area. So beautiful.
Yeah, it's a perfect day for a hot spring too.
Yeah.
It's pretty chilly outside.
You can see some blue skies peeping through, but the smoke is just gonna make it hazy all day.
So the entrance fee is $5 per person, and you can also stay at a campground here. It's full right now, but the campground is $25, and then you get free access to the hot springs.
Huh? Ooh. It's like a river. There's a lot of people today. Labor Day weekend. Welcome to Leard Hot Springs. Cool, beautiful day for a hot spring. Not sure if you can see, but here is where the hot spring originates. It's bubbling up from the ground. That's where the hottest water is. So this side right here is the hottest water, and then as you go down the river, it gets cooler. We're in the hot springs. It's really nice in here. It's 60 degrees out, so being in here feels really nice. I'm actually getting warm. I have to get out to cool off a little bit. We did come here on Labor Day weekend, which probably not a good idea. It's pretty packed. But I imagine any other time it's probably not as busy as today. So this isn't a private hot spring, so there is no showers, locker rooms. It's a public park. This is the second largest hot spring in Canada. Yeah, you can see like it would be blue skies, but the smoke is covering it up.
So nice swimming around this log.
Nick's found a log that he's swimming on. We're done with our day at the Liard Hot Springs. It was once again a nice relaxing time. It's always so nice to go to a hot spring.
Yeah.
So relaxing. It still smells like a bonfire out here. So we have a 4-hour drive ahead of us to Fort Nelson. We're gonna try to make it there tonight. We have this electric fence all around the perimeter of the parking lot and the campground, but not the hot spring.
Because the smoke has lifted in this area, so you can see the mountains and the lake. Really nice place. Wow, this is amazing. Water.
Look at the colors. Whoa, look at that.
It would have been like really green probably in the sunlight. Man, look at this drive. This is crazy, isn't it?
Whoa, man, this lake is beautiful. Pull over here.
For a second.
Check it out for a little bit.
There's a little bit between us.
We saw mountain goats here on the stretch, but it was like a curve from the other side, so we decided to turn around so it's safer to stop here. They're right here on the right. Look at them! Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that. Imagine if this was sunny.
Yeah.
It's just getting dark.
I mean, it's so beautiful. That's crazy. Like the water is so green. It's just amazing. We saw so much animals in the past 2 days.
Yeah.
Bears, bison, moose. Look at that. Man, that thing's huge.
Update. We left Alaska and we drove the same route back all the way to Dawson Lake. So we did the same route, Beaver Creek, Burwash Landing, Haines Junction, Whitehorse, and then Dawson Lake. This time, instead of doing the Cassiar Highway back to the United States, we're continuing on the Alaska Highway, and we're going to do the remainder of the Alaska Highway all the way to Dawson Creek where it starts. So that means since Dawson Lake, this route is all new to us, and the section that we've driven so far is absolutely beautiful. When we passed the Cassiar Highway on the way to Dawson Lake from Whitehorse, it was actually closed. There's a wildfire here that jumped the Cassiar Highway onto the other side and closed the highway for like a day or two, and now it's just a one-lane highway. It can be possible that it can be closed. It's not always open. There have been wildfires here. When we were at the Liard Hot Springs, there was smoke in the air. You can smell the bonfire smell. And when we stayed the night there, there was ash falling from the sky at night. And here in Fort Nelson, they have like 5 or 6 gas stations, and all of them were closed except one. They don't have gas or diesel, and the one that's open has higher prices. And it's because of the wildfires here. So it's definitely affected the northern BC that we've been driving through so far.
I mean, it looks like this stuff is burned here too where we're driving.
Yeah, a few times the smell was so strong that it was actually bothering you. Like,
yeah,
it was aggravating.
Especially when the wind would start up, it would just blow the smoke through like through the windows and gaps in the camper, and you could like smell inside the camper.
It's crazy.
And yeah, one night when we were parked, staying the night by Liard Hot Springs, it looked like it was snowing outside in the dark. Like you could see the ash falling.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. And like even the shirt I was wearing, it just smells like I would stand by a bonfire.
It was really close. The fire on the Cassiar Highway was like south of Dawson Lake, right on the Cassiar. It was really close actually. And the thing is, we don't have service or internet, so we don't even know where these fires were at, what was going on. We were just hoping we'd be fine. But it looks like today there's blue skies. It's not smelling anymore, so hopefully the fires are out. We're on the way from Fort Nelson to Dawson Creek, which is about a 4.5-hour drive. Dawson Creek is going to be the end or the start of the Alaska Highway. So if we get there, that means we've driven the entire Alaska Highway. And then from Dawson Creek, we'll be heading to Canadian Rockies. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm so excited to see that. The Alaska Highway, ever since after Burwash Landing all the way, probably I'm guessing all the way to Dawson Creek, it's actually a really good road. It's a lot better than the Cassiar Highway, which is surprising. So the Alaska Highway is actually not that bad, except the last section from Burwash Landing to Alaska. And even then, now that we've driven back, they've kind of filled in the washboard areas and the little ditches that we were talking about on the way.
This section after Dawson Lake and forward so far has been completely great. There's no potholes, it's completely straight. You can go full speed and everything's fine. And the Cassiar was like really wavy a lot.
Yeah.
So that was like, with the camper, you kind of just, you have to go slower or you're going to be ramping off.
Driving from Tok to Dawson Lake, we didn't see any wildlife. And then right after Watson Lake, we saw 4 bears like right in a row, 30 minutes of each other. We saw a small herd of bison just roaming on the side of the road. And then we were caught driving at night and we saw a huge herd of bison at night, and it was actually really scary because we almost hit one on the road. It was a really dark night, plus there was wildfire smoke. You couldn't see 15-20 feet in front of you, and he was standing right there on the other lane. Thankfully our lane was clear and they were on this lane and on either side of the road, but that was really close. But that was a huge herd of bison. You can see all the little eyes glowing in the dark all the way around you. We don't like to drive in the night, but we were stuck driving for an hour and a half at night because our video wouldn't upload, so we were stuck in the city a little bit longer than we wanted to be. So definitely don't drive the section from Watson Lake to Fort Nelson in the dark because there's bison roaming around.
We didn't know about the smoke, so we started driving, and it wasn't bad. We had like an hour to go in the dark, so we would have been fine. But then the smoke came in, which we didn't know about, and it got really smoky. And the bison head was like right by the front of the truck, by the grill as we passed. So that was pretty crazy. Like you can't see anything, and then you see a giant bison head. It's not even a deer.
Also, the Cassiar Highway is more remote. There's longer stretches of no services. Here you can go an hour or two and you hit a small town with a little gas station. And it's definitely not as, it's still remote, but it's not as bad as the Cassiar. Like the Cassiar, you can go 5, 6, 7 hours driving with nothing. We have about 4 hours left until Dawson Creek, so we'll catch you there. You guys know that some Tim Hortons in Canada still have the jelly-filled Timbits? We were so excited to find out. They're so good. Dawson Creek, which means we have driven the entire Alaska Highway. This is kind of sad. It means that our Alaska trip is done. We did the Alaska Highway, we did Alaska. It was such an incredible trip. We saw so many beautiful landscapes. We experienced so many cool things. Never in our dreams do we think we would ever go to Alaska. Like, that's a dream come true for us. We saw the whole thing. We drove from Prudhoe Bay down to Valdez to the Kenai Peninsula, saw the cities, saw the wilderness. We saw as much as we could on the roads. We drove the entire Alaska Highway. It runs from here, from Dawson Creek, all the way to Delta Junction, 1,400 miles. We did the first half on the way to Alaska and the second half on the way back. This is gonna be a trip that we're gonna remember forever.